saw profit this year. We grossed $675,000.
What's up, hustlers? Your favorite country cousin JT back in with another video here with a very special guest. A lot of you guys know me from the independent courier world. I want to introduce you to somebody that's better at it than me. Yes, somebody that you can learn from right now. I tell you guys, I'm completely honest about it. I don't do the business no more, but it's still a great business, and there's people out there that's actively doing the business and better at this business than I ever was. This is Mr. Anthony. How you doing today, sir?
Hold up. Pause, stop, freeze. Everyone listen. My name is Christopher Jackson, and I want to invite you to my free Stock Options 101 Masterclass this Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Listen, I want to show you how you can make additional income trading stock options while still working your full-time job. I truly believe that people should not pay their bills with their full-time income. I believe people should pay their bills with their investments. So if you want to learn how to make additional income trading stock options while still working a full-time job, join my free masterclass this Sunday at 7:30 p.m. The link to register is below, and it's absolutely free. Listen, I'm going to see you in the masterclass this Sunday. I'm going to take you on a journey and show you some things that you've never seen before. All praise to the Most High. You guys have a good one.
Good, sir. How you doing, man? I feel great. Blessed to be alive. Shout out to everybody, man.
For somebody that doesn't know who you are, like, can you kind of give us a little bit of an introduction? Of course, we know your name, but what kind of business you in, what you do, stuff like that.
My name is Anthony Schultz, 26 years old. I'm in the transportation industry. I'm an entrepreneur. About it. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm building. I'm working every day, putting that work and trying to give my family a better life.
Oh, yeah. How many years you been an entrepreneur?
Since I was it all started when I was actually 12, 13. I always was a hustler when I was a kid. I started off selling t-shirts. This right here, Believe and Achieve. I started off selling t-shirts when I was a kid. Growing up in Philadelphia, it's a lot of gun violence. It's a lot of negativity. So I always wanted to try to bring positivity into my city. So my thing was believe and achieve. And if you believe in yourself, you can achieve anything. That was always my saying since I was a kid. But it all started selling candy bars, selling waters, selling shirts. Just always was a hustler. And when you take an illegal route, especially where I'm from, you got to work 10 times harder. Yeah, it all started there, Philadelphia.
Around what age did you get into the courier business? Like, what made you want to become a courier versus? Because of course, a lot of you all watch YouTube videos and see people trading stocks and selling online, and all of that stuff is great. I'm not knocking anybody, but you guys know that being a independent courier, no matter if you have a box truck, sprinter van, cargo van, whatever, if you in the industry, that's the industry that made me my first real money and allowed me to have the seed money to do everything else. So Anthony, what made you want to become a courier or start your own transportation business?
So I always wanted to be my own boss. I've been fired from a few jobs. When you drop out of school, I had to drop out due to my circumstances in 11th grade, and I started off working at Home Depot, and I realized that if I want to move up in this company, it's going to take probably 20, 30 years to see a real change. So I always would just I turned 18. I was on my own. I was living on my own, paying my own bills. I was working at Home Depot, and I'm and I was hustling on the side. I'll be honest, I was hustling on the side, and I was like, I don't want to hustle. I don't want to sell marijuana. I don't want to sell. I don't want to hustle. I don't want to do nothing that's bad, and I also don't want to work for somebody that could replace me at any moment. So since I was 18, that's when I started getting into the entrepreneur world. I started off. I did start off selling t-shirts when I was younger, but that would only bring in so much money. But when I was 18, it started off with, you ever heard of drop shipping?
Yep.
I tried drop shipping. I had a whole page. I tried that. I tried the Amazon FBA. All these things that, people post them up, but to me, they're like get rich quick schemes. It don't work out for everybody. It's a lot that they don't tell you with that. It's not instant money. You got to put a lot of work in. I tried the Forex stuff. People always try to get me into the Forex. I would sign up. They get their little referral. They leave me hanging. I tried flipping pallets. That everything wasn't what it seemed with that. That was my first taste of trucking, the flipping pallets. But that also wasn't what it seemed. But when I started studying trucking like around probably like 19, 20, and then I procrastinated for 2 years. It was a higher startup cost. So it was when I was 20, about like 21, almost 22. That's when I took the leap of faith. I started the LLC when I was 20 years old. And then when I was like almost 22, I was about to be evicted. I just had a son. Me and his mom, we didn't work out. I wasn't able to see my son as much. We were so far away, and I was just going through a lot with that. I'm not going to sit here and talk bad about his mom, on YouTube, but I was just going through a lot with that. So I'm like, you know what? I got to do what's best for myself and for my son. I'm not able to see him right now. I'm going to go hard. So I started a business in his name, and that's when I was about to be evicted. I just lost my job due to COVID. I caught COVID. I was working for this therapy company. I was a driver. I was working for this therapy company. I lost my job. They gave me COVID, and then I gave my son COVID. And I told them I had to take care of my son, and they told me to be out of work for 7 days. I told them I couldn't come back for like 14 to 20 days. I'm like, my son got COVID, and I got to take care of him. I got to make sure he's good. That's when I had, so I lost that job, but I always was working on my credit since I was 18. I always was working on my credit. So that's when I leveraged my credit, but in order to get a loan, you need a pay stub. So that's when I found this job. I was on Indeed applying for jobs. And then I went to work for this company. It's called A to Z Party Rental. It was like it was like outside of Philadelphia, A to Z Party Rental. And I was driving a 26-foot box truck for 2 weeks. So I worked that job. Then I applied for this loan with Lending Club. And I wound up getting, because I had good credit, I wound up getting a $14,000 loan. But they had 50% interest. So I got 14,000, but I owed 7,000. They say 33%, but to me that's 50%. That's half of what y'all just gave me. I got paid back extra. So it was 14,000. I owed 21,000, and I literally invested that whole loan into mentorship, into the rentals, into the insurance, into all my documents and all my equipment. And so I was at like rock bottom. I had eviction notice on my door. I was behind rent 3 months. My car just broke down. I was just going through like all them kind of struggles. I ain't have no help. I didn't have nobody. Most of my family passed away. My mom's, she always worked hard, but I just didn't have nobody at that time financially. I didn't have no help financially. So that's when I had it was either like, go hustle, and because the job barely pays the bills. Like when you're working a minimum wage job and you got a $1,400 rent. You got a car payment, it barely pays the bills. It's like I either got to hustle and work a job, or I could take this leap of faith and see where it takes me. I took that leap of faith for trucking. What made me want to get into trucking is just knowing that you can get paid the next day. If you use a factoring company, I use OTR Capital. That's my factoring company. I pay 3% and 4%. When you start off, it's usually like 4%. I pay 3% now because I've been in a while, and that's how I get paid next day. But that's one thing I knew about trucking, is that you can get paid the next day. So that's what made me want to get into it. Also, you don't need a CDL. I could just jump right into it if I invest in myself. And that's what I did. I invested in a few different people, and I'm not going to talk too much about that. But being scammed and being done wrong and being left hanging is what led me to mentoring people and teaching people now and doing everything that I'm doing. But, my first year over the road, I slept in the truck for a year straight, in the truck, right on the bench for a year straight. I showed people that you could do it in a rental. I didn't see nobody on YouTube or nobody doing it in a rental truck. I started off in a rental truck, which a lot of people think that you got to purchase a truck. They think you got to purchase a 26-foot truck in order to start their business. No, you can get a rental for as low as $500 to $700 a week and 10 to 20 cents a mile. And, you'll make that money back and be able to pay it at the end. So I started off in a rental, and I slept in the truck for a year straight. And in my first year, I was probably like 90,000 in debt, thanks to credit. I maxed out my American Express card. I was struggling so bad, I would call American Express every day. Can you please just give me an extra $1,000? I just broke down out here. I need some help. Can you please just help me? Because I had this non-preset spending limit card. I maxed out that. I maxed out my Navy Federal personal, my Navy Federal business. I maxed out all my Capital One cards. I maxed out every business and every personal credit card that I had. on top of still having to pay that loan and still having to rent and still having the car payments. I was just behind on everything. So not 9 months in, what made me start doing content actually is that if you go to the beginning, like the beginning of my YouTube channel, you'll see that I was going through a lot, but I always tried to stay positive. Every time I was in a bad situation, I always lived like it could be worse. Like I'm still here, I'm still blessed. So one day I almost froze to death on the road. You know, dispatcher had booked me a load to like Albany, New York. I broke down. It was -10 degrees. Yeah, I was stuck up there too. So it was like, you know, the night before I broke down, like the evening before I broke down. And then that's when I was stuck there, like freezing to death. Truck broke down. It wasn't starting up. There was nowhere to go for me, nowhere. So before my phone died, my last phone call was to the rental company, the roadside department. I told them I broke down. I need some help. It's freezing out here. I need a swap out. The truck broke down. And that's when they didn't come till 12 hours later. And I was freezing to death. And I'm still cool with that roadside guy that came. His name is Timmy. He came to help me. And he had to like help get me out the truck. Like I was like damn near purple. I was like really freezing to death. Yeah, like I could have froze to death, thanks to God for that damn sleeping bag, but it was freezing. And that's when I woke up and I said, you know what? Because I always been a low-key guy. I'm not going to say I would care what people thought about me, but I was just a low-key guy. Like, because I did music too. As well, and I didn't want people in my business. But then I woke up and I'm like, you know what? Like, I could have just died. Like, I'm out here. You know, I could have just died. I got scammed. I'm getting done wrong. You know what? I want to record the bad. I want to show people the bad. People on YouTube always want to show the good. A lot of people just try to sell you stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to show the bad of this journey. And I would always say in the beginning of my videos, look, y'all, I'm going to figure this out. When I figure this out, I'm going to come back and I'm going to teach y'all it's okay I got scammed, because watch, when I get this down pat, y'all, I'm going to start mentoring you. And yeah, you're going to have to invest in yourself. Ain't nothing free. But I'm going to show y'all the bad, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show y'all the good, and I'm going to show proof to everything. And, you know, like, next thing you know, after like a year later, you know, now I got over 80,000 followers on Instagram, you know, organically. You know, the YouTube has a few thousand subscribers. You know, I'm changing thousands of people's lives. You know, the youngest person's life that I'm helping change right now is a guy named Angel, which I could put him on the call right now, all the way from California. A lot of people don't mentor people out of California because they say California is one of the worst zones in trucking. But I love to challenge myself. So I mentor my guy Angel out of California. He's 20 years old. And that's my youngest mentee right now, helping a lot of people change their life. Yeah, next thing you know, so a year in, so my first year was just all struggles, all trials and tribulations. Towards the end of my first year, I used my Navy Federal business card. Again, credit saved me. I used my credit card to purchase me a truck. I used my business credit card to put a down payment on my truck. My down payment was $14,000. That credit card was $15,000. I used that to put a down payment on my truck, which I put a video on YouTube about that as well. And that's when, you know, I kept moving forward. The second year was basically, so I grossed probably like 200 in my first year, like 180 to 200, but I didn't net nothing. I was negative. You know, everybody posts their gross up, but what's the net? Gross is, that's the gross. I didn't net nothing. I struggled. I was negative. I owed so much. I was like literally in negative, like 90,000 negative, and I grossed 200,000 and didn't make no sense. But my second year, I netted like 130, 140, but then I used all that to pay back my debt. You know, so second year was paying back all the debt that I owed. And then I walked away with a good amount of profit. I leveled up my situation. I didn't have eviction notice no more. I paid back all my loans. I paid back all my credit cards. You know, I leveled up. I got a nicer car. You know, I didn't try to get a flashy car. I just got a nice car, you know. I moved my son into a better situation. You know, I got a nice apartment. I went from efficiency to a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom. Then next year, you know, this is, I'm my third going on 4th year. And my 3rd year, and we'll claim every now and then. But you know, now it's all profit. This year we grossed $675,000.
Great.
Yeah.
Great, man.
And we netted something real good. You know, I got a good accountant, so you know the whole goal is to bring it down. But the first year, it wasn't me actually bringing it down. I was actually down. But now we just bring the net down.
Yeah.
to keep more money, because now I don't really need the credit as much now. It's just now we have the liquid. So now, yeah, we grow 675,000. I can actually find some proof of that as well too. I could find some proof too.
All right, I'm gonna give you the ability to share your screen. While he's doing that, a couple of things I want to point out here. He made a lot of good points. This gentleman has a fantastic story. I hope you guys can tell, like I can tell, he's a genuine guy. He's not just here just trying to sell you something, a book, a course, a thing, a van. Like he genuinely wants people to not have to go through all of the problems that he went through. So avoid getting scammed, taken advantage of. How do you manage your money? So like the saying goes, Hov did that, so hopefully you don't got to go through that. I tell you guys, I'm not anti-job, I'm pro-happiness, but I believe everybody should have more than one income stream. So how he got sick on a job, and then unfortunately his son got sick, and how the job really wasn't understanding of, hey, I still want to work here, but I have other responsibilities that are more important than this job, right? So at the end of the day, you know that they're just going to use you like an asset, and when you're not an asset, they'll replace you with somebody else. So not knocking you if you love what you do, but it's really important, in my opinion, for you to have an income stream that you can control, like having your own business. And you guys know this business as an independent courier has liberated me. He also said you didn't need a CDL. He also pointed out that you could start this business with a rental. He also kept it real and let you know this is going to be real work. It's not a sit down, watch a video, and then check your bank account balance, and now you up $100, $200, $600,000. You actually got to apply the information as well. And even with the credit side of the house. So I know a lot of you all are not willing to bet on yourself. And this gentleman, if you guys heard the numbers, right? Replay this if you missed it. He really believed in himself. He really believed in himself. He really bet on himself. And believe it or not, if you don't believe in you to the highest degree, nobody else, right? You'll have people that love you, care about you, but you're going to have to be the man or the woman, if you're watching this and interested in this business, that says, you know what, I'm going to be the one that believes in myself the most, right? So really good game. He does have a program. You ready yet, or are you still looking for something?
Yeah, it's on my other phone, but I was just like, because I didn't come like prepared with I didn't know I was going to be showing this, but so right here, I'm about to
and he posts receipts on his Instagram and his YouTube channel. I'll link those down in the description below as well, so you guys can see it. And he's making real money, documenting the process, and like he said, helping people from all over. So he's on the East Coast. His youngest mentee is on the West Coast. All right, so that's telling you can do this business anywhere, East Coast, West Coast, whatever.
No, you could do it anywhere now. A lot of people say it's only money in the Midwest. So a lot of people say it's only money in the Midwest. But one thing I learned is that that's basic information. Like a lot of people say Chicago. If you watch box truck videos, people always say Chicago. But one thing I learned is, how is there money there if everybody's there? You know, I learned to navigate every area. I learned how to navigate the West, California. I learned how to navigate the Northeast. I learned how to navigate the South. They say there's no money in Florida. They say you can only get like 50 cents to $1 a mile coming out of Florida. We've been doing $2 consistent. And I just posted videos up on Instagram, and I show proof. I show the freight. I show the payouts. I show the expenses. I show the total miles. And a lot of people say they do this rate per mile, but that's not your real rate per mile if you're not including the deadhead. And what the deadhead is the miles it takes. It's when you're driving empty to go pick up a load. A lot of people don't include that. So you might have a load that's 1,000 miles, and it might be 1,500, and they might say, "Oh, I got $1.50," but they might have drove 300 to go get that. So it's really 1,300 miles, and that $1.50 comes all the way down to like $1.10. But I wanted to show you this real quick. So I'm just being the eyes, showing people that it's money everywhere. You just got to know what you're doing. You got to know how to dispatch. And all right, so right here, this was 22. All right, so what I crossed out right here, that's my company. You know, it's my MC number. I don't want people like calling my phone. I don't want. So, you know, they can look up your information. So right here, if you see right here, you know, I could probably zoom into it right here.
Yeah, we
right here
at the top. Yeah.
188,000.
Yep.
And then 182,000 after paying that small fee to get factored. Now that was 188,000, right? Right. That was 182,000 after factoring. This 2023. Y'all see 2023 right here.
Yep.
2023. See that?
Yep.
Now we're gonna go over here. And, you know, times change.
Yeah.
Times change, baby. Times change. You feel me? Times
Yeah.
change. This isn't including everything else we do. This is just trucking. Just trucking. Now, net on that is probably because I got a whole program now. So we do like lease and dispatch. I got my truck as well, you know, so I got like a lot going on. So net on that is probably like probably on that maybe like 30, 40.
Yeah.
Under 50%, probably like 30, 40, which is still beautiful. But off of one box truck, because I worked my way up to be able to work from home. I got like a whole program. I got like a whole system for myself that I do for all my mentees. You know, I go hard for them. I dispatch them. I put them under my authority. It's called lease and dispatch. I got my truck as well. I got a lot going on. So that right there, I'm not going to sit there and say I netted 80% of that. And if what I do is I show people how to get their own box truck and net 50 to 70%. Yep. That's what I show people what to do. And in a rental, whether they want to own, I show them how to start their business. I show them how to make the money, how to dispatch. I show them how to drive legally compliant on the road. I show them timing. Dispatch is a timing thing. You got to know time. If you don't have your timing right, you're going to mess up broker relationships. And if you mess up a broker relationship, nobody's going to work with you. And that's what a lot of people say, that a lot of people, so the brokers are the ones that we call to book the loads from. So if I go to book a load right now, I get greedy and I try to go get another load, and then I don't get that load there 8 a.m. or the time that they want it there, or I don't, meet their requirements. That means that they will not work with me no more. They will most likely put a freight guard on my account. They will most likely it's called Carrier 411. That's what the brokers use. They'll put a freight guard on your account on carrier411.com, and that's what brokers do. So when you call a broker, usually the first thing they ask for is your MC number. And then when they type your MC number on Carrier 411, it'll pop up as you got a freight guard now. Now no brokers will work with you. A lot of people say, new authorities can't make money. That's not true. You just got to know what you're doing. But if you mess up broker relationships, now no broker will work with you. And that's the thing that they don't tell you. You can't just be canceling loads. You can't just be trying to get greedy, putting all this money on your truck. You got to know timing. And it took me a lot of trials and tribulations to get the timing down pat. Also, you got to know every zone. And another thing is that every load's different. Every broker's different. My negotiation is going to be different from every load. Right now we're in Philadelphia. The next 50 times coming out of Philadelphia, it's going to be different. Why? Because every load's going to be different, and the timing on that load is going to be different, and every zone is going to is different. Going down to Florida on that particular day, I might need this rate, or every day is going to, or Texas, I might need this rate, or this rate, or New Mexico, or Cali, or wherever, Minnesota, I'm going to need a different rate every time. It also depends on what time of the day it is. People think you could just go on a load board and book a load, and it's that easy, and then they get themselves stuck for a week, and then they like, damn, and now I'm 5,000 in a hole. I should have just invested in mentorship. And then they come investing anyway after they done lost 10, 20,000. And that's the whole point of having a mentor by your side, because they will help you make money faster, help you profit faster, always be by your side. And then they will help you save tens of thousands of dollars. Like I said, my first year, I was 90,000 in debt, and I invested in 2 mentors. And I'm not going to expose them, but they just had basic knowledge. A lot of people just had basic information. They hop in a truck just to try to sell you some stuff. They might post pictures, but they never really did it. That's one thing I realized. But when I was first coming in, it used to look good. I'm like, damn, okay, I want to do this too. So I went out there, and then I really went through the trials and tribulations. I went through so much out on that road, but I wouldn't change it for nothing. I wouldn't change it for nothing.
What I want to ask you is some common questions, not to cut you off, some common questions that people ask me about this industry and get your opinion on it. Can you do this business with a DUI, or if you ever have any type of felony on your record?
Yeah. Yes. That's another thing. What I love about it is because I always want to change lives, help change people's lives, and where I'm from, it's a lot of people that have felonies that are great people. They slipped up, or, didn't want to tell on one of their friends. And the good thing about this business is is that you can get into it with a background, without a background. That doesn't matter, because this is your business. You're a boss. This is your business. You control this. Now, like I said, if you got this thing called your MC, and if you mess that up, yeah, you basically got a background on your MC. But when you come into this business, you're coming in fresh. You know, you coming in fresh, and you just want to keep your name clean. You want to do right by the brokers. You want good business, and you do good business, then you're gonna be fine. So having felonies doesn't matter. You know, again, this is your business. Now you got a DOI, you got some speeding tickets, you got some accidents. I actually had an accident. My insurance was $2,600. I paid more than most when I first got started. I got in an accident. You know, I kind of want to share my story too. I like to tell the bad of my story too. Can I say something?
Yeah.
A lot of people think that chasing fast money is a good thing. This is just one little example of like stuff that I went through in my life. Now I went through a lot, but
I finally figured it out. What did I figure out? I'm so glad that you asked. The problem that we both have is that while I love social media, as do you, or you at least like it, or you wouldn't be seeing this video, we do not get to control the algorithm. Why does that matter? Why is that a problem? If I create a video that can teach you how to make more money step by step, or create generational wealth, or invest, or just in any way better your financial journey, but multi-billion-dollar advertisers don't want to run ads against that sort of content because it doesn't fatten their pockets, do you know what social media algorithms are going to do? Not send out notifications. Think about it. How many people do you follow across social media? They drop new videos, but you say, I never saw a notification. I didn't know that video came out, and you could be missing out on game. It could be one piece of information that could change your life for the rest of your life. But just because a multi-billion-dollar advertiser doesn't want to advertise against that content, it will reduce the notifications that go out. Now, I'm not here to complain. I believe that if you identify a problem, you should also offer a solution. Here's my solution. Join my newsletter. It's absolutely free. It's the Providence Professional. I call it the Providence Pro newsletter. And what I'm going to do for absolutely free is I'm going to email you the opportunities. And then you decide if that opportunity is something that you want to check out and change your life for the rest of your life, or you decide if that's something that's not interesting to you. I think that while we all need these big companies, they serve a purpose in the marketplace. I create content to help people that's on their way to financial freedom, not multi-billion-dollar companies that are trying to become multi-trillion-dollar companies. I love them. I'm unapologetically an entrepreneur, but I'm here for you. Join the free Providence Pro newsletter, link underneath this video, and you start making the choices for yourself. Stop letting big advertisers determine what information you are allowed or not allowed to see. Let's get back to today's action. Join the newsletter. Peace.
I was in hard times, dark times, and where I'm from, a lot of people they scam, right? They crack credit cards. They'll put fake checks in credit cards and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't want to do that, man. Or into their bank. Like I got Citizens Bank, I got Navy Federal. They'll go put a fake check in, then they'll split it half and half with the people. But what they don't tell the people is that no bank will ever want to work with them. Just like in the trucking business, if you mess up with a broker, no broker will ever want to work with you. So it's all different systems in every business. So what happened is that I didn't want to get into that. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's fast money, but I never wanted to do people wrong. I never wanted to do people wrong. So like I said, when I was selling marijuana, all my other friends was selling the hard stuff. And I'm like, but that kills people. But they would put fentanyl in marijuana. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sell marijuana. Everybody smoke, but I'm going to make sure it's the good marijuana. Everything I did, even if it was illegal, I always try to make sure I was doing the right thing and not hurting people and, you know, not scamming people, not doing people wrong. So like I said, my friends, they would like crack credit cards, like crack the credit cards and put the fake checks in them and make tens of thousands of dollars, make a lot of money.
This was 100 years ago, you guys. So the statute of limitation is up.
Yeah, not now.
This happened 100 years ago.
Yeah, this happened a long time ago, and I'm fine. I'm okay. I could speak on it because you know you live and you learn. But I didn't do that, so I would see, like, you know, they're making a lot of money, but I'm like, you know, like I just can't do that. It's not right. So I started trying to get into Bitcoin, and what I was doing wasn't all the way righteous, like with the Bitcoin and stuff like that. But I wasn't hurting nobody. I wasn't doing people wrong. So I'm like, it's the hustle. I'm on my way to the Bitcoin machine, right? I'm on my way to the Bitcoin machine. This deaf man cuts right in front of me in the fast lane. and just stops. And we're both going 70. And he just stops right in front of me. I hit him. I'm in the wrong. My car gets totaled. Now, you remember when Dogecoin was like, it went up to 75 cents. So I had my last like $6,000 in Dogecoin. So I was like hustling, and the little money that I would make back from the marijuana, I put that into stocks because I really wanted to do the right thing. And so I would always invest my money different places, invest my money. I was trying to drop ship and I was trying to Forex, but it wasn't working. Then I had cryptocurrency, and I put GameStop had just blew up. And I'm like, dang, I missed out. Then they started talking about Dogecoin. So I put like my last 6,000-7,000 in Dogecoin. I'm on my way to the Bitcoin machine, right? This deaf man cuts in front of me. I crash into him. He gets out the car and I'm furious, bro. I'm like, you really just stopped in front of me. Like, he stopped right in front of my car. Like, I didn't even have a chance to stop. And I had like an old Honda at the time. I had a Honda Accord, had like a 09 Honda. Boom, I crashed into him. Car's totaled. Now I had to take that $6,000-7,000 out of Dogecoin, right? I took that $6,000-7,000 out of Dogecoin. Now Dogecoin blows up a week later. I would have had like so everybody was saying Doge to $1, but I'm like, nah, you gotta think smart. If it goes to people are saying $1, but it might only really go to like 80-90 cents. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take out half of this, that 50 cent take out. I would have had like $75,000-100,000, but I was doing wrong. I was out there doing wrong. I was on my way to a Bitcoin machine, even though I know I wasn't hurting nobody. I wasn't taking for nobody. I was doing wrong, and I could have snapped. I was depressed. I was upset. You know, I had a kid. I'm like, dang, like, and I'm just out here like, I don't got no help. I'm trying to make it happen. I'm trying to do it as righteously as possible. And so I had to take my last 6,000-7,000 out, put it into the car. You know, I would have had 75,000 if I would have just stayed patient and did the right thing. So what I'm trying to say to people is like, stop chasing that fast money, you know, do it legally. Yeah, you're going to have to work 10 times harder. Like, I was in a truck for a whole year, slept in the truck with 90,000 in debt, but I didn't give up, and I'm here now. I went from eviction to, you know, efficiency, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom to, 2 bedroom to now I have a house, you know, and now all my kids is good, and now my whole family's good. I just bought my mom's a car. I never thought I'd be able to cash out. Bought my mom's a car. It's not the brand newest car, but eventually I'll get there. But my mom got a real nice car. Yeah. And, you know, I never thought, you know, now I could work from home. You want to know what else is crazy too? Yeah. That they said I made so much this year. I actually got hit by a semi truck too, bro.
Oh, shoot.
I didn't tell you that. Yeah, I got hit by a truck on March 27th, 2023. Mm-hmm. That's what forced me to be home. Right, forced me to be home. So I got hit by a truck. I actually put a video out on it. I got hit by a semi truck into another semi truck, and I came out with just a broken hand, and you know, my head was all banged up, and you know, I wound up just having like some short-term memory loss and some PTSD.
What was you in? You was in your box truck when they hit you? Or?
Yeah. The glass cracked all of my head. Like, that could have slit my throat. I could have been done like the whole everything. Like, I was like really crushed in there. Like and I came out like good, like I'm good now. This was March 27th of last year. I was struggling. Now I went back. I just started seeing success. I just started seeing like great months. I just started seeing like $30,000 months. Like when I was doing them videos, and I was doing really good. And I had just seen like a $12,500 week. I was doing great. And what happened? I got hit by the truck. I thought it was over for me. I thought it was over for me. Fast forward, you know, I took like a couple weeks off, but I had to work. And while I'm taking that time off, I'm not really taking time off. I'm studying every day. Like, dang, what can I do now? What can I do now? So that's when I moved my business. I stayed down. I saved up my money. I got a truck. I started doing lease and dispatch, and I made a whole lot of other things happen. That's when I was able to focus on my teaching as well. Here's what I was about to say. My lawyer told me that I've never seen this before. Like, most people sit down and just sit at a family's house and wait for a year, a family member's house and wait for a year to get their case money. But me, I had to work. I had bills due. I had to make it happen. I ain't had nobody to pay these bills. Now I just moved into a 2-bedroom apartment at this time. These bills is a little big. These bills is getting up there now. I'm like the $4,000 or $5,000 a month. I'm like, I don't got that much saved. Like 4,000 or 5,000. yeah, I might have a couple tens of thousands, but a couple months go by, I'm back to zero. You can go down to zero very fast. That's when this was just like a year and a half ago. So like I said, my second year was just, I seen a good couple tens of thousands of dollars in profit. But remember, I had to pay off like 90,000 in debt. Keep in mind, I don't owe nothing now. I don't owe no personal credit cards. I owe no business credit cards. All my loans is paid off. Everything. My lawyer, I told my lawyer, I said, look, I gotta work. I can't wait. I took a couple weeks off and I figured out a business plan. I'm like, you know what? And that's when, so I figured out a business plan, and then I wound up, grossing at the end of the year. It says 644,000. I said 675 earlier, my fault, y'all. 644, 644, and then, but we did gross 675. So every load doesn't factor. Not every load factors. You'll get loads sometimes that do like a quick pay, 3 to 5%. So we grossed like close to 700,000. But off this sheet right here, y'all seen 644, and my lawyer said he never seen nothing like it. Most people just sit around and wait for money. So what happens is I wound up losing the case. I wound up getting bigger on social media. They wound up seeing my social media. I lost the case. They said, you're good. You're on Instagram. You're posting up things. And I wound up settling for 150. But, I get 60%, they get 40%. And I was having bad anxiety. I needed my head checked. I need every part that I needed checked cost at 5,000-10,000. So I wound up walking away with like 10 grand. Wound up walking away with nothing, because off of my 60% off of 150 would be 90,000. And I had so many different reports done, and each doctor is 5,000-10,000. We talking about neurologists. We're talking about physical therapy. I went to like 100 physical therapy to get back right. And yeah, like it's crazy. I came out with just PTSD, short-term memory loss, and my lawyer said he never seen it ever before. Most people have a family member, but I didn't have nobody. I got kids, and I'm just not the type to make excuses. Like I said, I'm a hustler. And then when you're doing it legally, you got to work 10 times harder. And I'm like, I damn sure ain't come this far to go back to the streets or to be hustling. I'm damn sure not about to do that. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna work hard. And I stressed my brain out. I had so many sleepless nights. I'm supposed to be relaxing and resting. No, I wasn't. I had to work. I had to make it happen. And fast forward, then I level up more. I'm leveling up more. Now I'm able to focus on my mentees now. So I feel like that accident helped me in a way, because it woke me up a little bit, and now I'm able to, because I would have stayed in the truck, JT. I would have stayed in the truck. I would have kept doing my thing. I probably would have had 1 million followers, because they want to see you in that truck. I would have probably been even bigger. But my content, like my followers slowed down a little bit, just because they want to see you in the truck. That's that one piece of proof that I'm not showing. I'll put pictures up of the freight when my driver picks up, but they want to see me in the truck. But I leveled up from the truck now. And God sat me down and said, you know what? I'm going to bring you behind. I'm going to bring you home. You're going to have an office, and you're going to spend more time with your kids. Because what is money, if you can't spend time with your kids? And I'll be out on the road for a good amount of time. And, I need to be home with my kids. So I took that as like a sign, which I would always try to get home to my son too. Like I would take that head home sometimes anyway. But it's nothing like being home every day versus like every weekend or every other weekend like that. Trucking stuff gets hard. You might have to be out there for 2 weeks sometimes, but it's a risk we take for our kids and their future. And next thing you know, it's crazy. I got hit on March 27th, and guess what? A year later, JT. I don't know if you know, but I got a daughter. I had a daughter on March 27th.
Oh man, yeah. Congrats, man. That's awesome. Congrats.
God, man. It's God, man. Yeah. And moved into a 3-bedroom house. But I feel like God forces me to do things. So he forced me. Look, sometimes you don't understand why he does things at that time. But I'm always open to the signs. Like I always been spiritual, because like I lost all my grandparents, my aunt, my uncle, my big brother, my dad left. Like I lost most of my family. And all I really got is my little siblings and my moms. And I'm blessed to have that, because some people have nothing. And I'm blessed to have that. And, but I always see the signs. Like I talk to them, I live for them. I know they still here with me. And so I always been open to seeing the signs and always knowing that it could be worse, So I took it like, dang, like at the time I didn't understand, but I knew it would get better. I figured it out. I lost the case, but I wound up making way more money in trucking. God sat me down, so now I could focus and have an office now and be able to, spend more time with my son, most importantly, my kids, my daughter. I have a daughter now, my family, and be able to focus on my mentees and teach them, really sit down and teach them and be able to just live more, I might get back out on the road, but it would just be just to do content and just to show more proof. I make more money being home now. And that's the whole point, to level up. Now, also, JT, I also was able to execute on my credit repair business. I don't know if I told you this last time, but now I like to show people how to go from nothing to something. Now, I show people how to start in a rental. I show people how to get their trucking business started, which usually costs around anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000, because everybody's down payment for insurance is different. But I got YouTube videos on my box truck and page showing you how to get cheap insurance as well, stuff like that. But how do you get that $5,000 to $7,000? So now I help people repair, rebuild their credit, and I help them get the funding. We do the mentorship. I help them do everything. If they want me to do it for them, I do it for them. You want me to teach you? Then obviously that'd be a little less. Now I'm just teaching, but if I got to do it for you, I got to charge you a little more. But now I teach people literally how to go from nothing to something. So if you're watching this video and you're like, dang, like, I like everything I'm hearing, but I just don't got the money. You don't need the money. You can leverage the credit just like I did. And the good thing about coming to someone like me is I showed y'all the bad. Before it got good, I showed y'all all the bad. When you go down to the bottom of my YouTube channel, I was struggling. I wasn't promoting nothing on my page. I wasn't promoting no mentorship. I wasn't in the truck promoting good lows. I wasn't in there teaching people how to start their business. I was telling people like, look, y'all, I'm gonna figure this out. And when I figure this out, I'm gonna come back for y'all. And I always did raw and uncut content. You know, you might see me bust a fart or pick a boogie because I didn't do no edits. I did it raw and uncut, JT. I didn't care one day I woke up and I said, you know what? I don't care what people think about me. I ain't trying to be perfect no more. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just going to do it. And
pointed out you could do this with a disability. For those of you out there that are not saying you disabled or anything, but he was injured. So if you injured or have a disability, you can do it. He also pointed out that you can scale up and eventually come out of the truck. For those of you out there that were curious to know, could you run this business? He's in his office now. So he's giving us a lot of good game. Here's a question, last question I have for you. And again, click that link down in the description below, tap into his program and connect directly with him. When I was an independent courier, we went and got contracts with third-party logistics companies. I think the way that you're doing it, in all honesty, is a more profitable way to do it. I don't know if you ever even looked at getting contracts with like third-party logistics companies, like to deliver mail, pharmaceuticals, car parts, anything like that. If so, my question would be like, why do you like brokers over contracts?
I like control of my schedule. I like to, like, when you're in a contract, you got to work a certain amount of hours every day and make that certain amount of money. Now, when I'm on the load boards and I'm parceling up, you know, I feel like I can make a way higher rate per mile. I would do contracts if I was doing like local work. I mean, a contract I feel is good if you're doing like local. You want to be home every night and make just a little bit less, but you can make a lot of money over the road. And I also don't like to just be tied to one broker, because you got to remember, everybody in this business is trying to make money. You know, nobody's really your friend. That's one thing I learned. It's all business. So I learned to take my heart out of things and just keep it just business, because, you know, so a broker might, you know, tell me like, I got this load for you every day, right? 1,600. But now once I lock that in with them and I do that every day with them, 1,600, now eventually someone's going to come to them and say, I'll do that for 1,400. So eventually he's going to kick me off, and now I'm dependent on him, and people like to feel needed. So I like to just have my own freedom. I might want to take off for a week. I might want to just come home for a week, but when I'm on a contract, ain't no taking off. You take off, they're going to give someone else your contract. Yeah, so I feel like you can make more money. I feel like you could have more freedom. I also like to see the world. Like, you know, well, now I want to be home, but when I was from Philadelphia, I never really went places. Like, my mom used to take me to Ocean City, Maryland and stuff. That was like a thing we would do in the summer. That was very nice. But I never really been nowhere. So, you know, going from the hood to all these different states. I'm in Minnesota. I'm walking in the Mall of America, biggest mall in the world. I'm like, damn, it's a different life. I'm just everywhere. I'm like, yeah, it's a different life. And I liked it. I fell in love with it. So, you know, originally I got into trucking just to make money and invested into other businesses. That's what I originally got into trucking. But then once I hit the road, I actually fell in love with it. I struggled, but I just fell in love with the journey. I'm like, you know, I got people change their lives. It's going to be a little hard in the beginning, but you can make money next day. You can actually make money instantly. It's called a boat. You pay $25 to your factoring company. That's when you can get that boat and get same day payment. You can get paid instantly. You drop the load off, you can get paid right away for the extra $25. I fell in love with that. Like, this is real. You know, in the beginning, it might be rocky and you might be driving for, you know, 80, 90 cents a mile and not profiting, but that money is still going to hit every day. And once you learn how to dispatch and learn how to make that $2, $3 a mile, and now that money's coming instantly, and now you making $500 to $1,000 a day, you like, damn, okay, so I stayed down now. Now I'm starting to, you know, see the benefits. It's trucking, you get paid instantly. But back to the question, I just don't like to be. I like to have my own schedule. I like to have that freedom. I want to make more money. And so I'm gonna go over the road and I'm gonna take that risk, you know.
All right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So like he said, you guys, man, there's so many options in transportation, so many ways to make money in this box trucks business. Like he pointed out, for me, the independent courier company gave me the money to go into e-commerce. I bought my first YouTube camera and laptop from Walmart, just to be real, like with my independent courier money. And then later on, when I had more money, I could go to Best Buy and get a little bit better laptop and camera. So whether you want to get into this box truck business and stay in it and make a lot of money, he's living proof you can stay in it and make any amount of money you want. If you're looking for a business that you can get started in a relatively short amount of time and start having that money coming in, this is not a get rich quick scheme or scam. This is a real business. I point that out because you might hear him and other people say, hey, it's a lot of money in it. But like he said, it's also real work. The benefit of having a mentor, and I recommend that you tap in with Anthony for this business as the subject matter expert for it, is a mentor can help you avoid certain mistakes. Now, there is no perfect life. So let's say you do run into a breakdown here and there, or DOT pull you over and you don't know how to handle this or that, right? Having a mentor will also say, okay, if you do run into this problem, here's how to handle it, or here's what to do proactively to avoid it. And it really is going to shorten the learning curve, allow you to make your money faster, more efficiently. And you get to take advantage of all of the years and all of the struggles and the education that he gained over the last few years. And you get that immediately by tapping in with him. So what I need you all to do is subscribe to his YouTube channel, follow his Instagram account. And if you're an action taker that's ready to get money, click that link down in the description below and start this business. Don't be an information hoarder. Go get your money.
I know how it is struggling, y'all. Like, I know how it is. You know, I don't come from the best situation. Come from Philadelphia, you don't got a lot of opportunities. You got all the odds set against you. It's not easy, but I'm telling y'all, you know, you put the work in. You know, here's a game plan for y'all. You know, if you coming from nothing and you don't got no money, I'm never going to go get my CDL because, you know, I feel like it's way more money in the box trucks. But here's just the game plan that I actually would have did at the time if I know it. You can go get your permit. It costs $70. Get your CDL, and then what you can do is you can they'll pay for you. You go on Google, you do some research. There's plenty of people that'll pay for you to get your CDL. They will pay you to get your CDL, lease onto their company for a year or two, and then after that, you'll probably make $50,000 to $100,000 in that first year. You know, you working for them, and then boom, after you've done your contract with them after a year or two, now you can start your business. That's the play, you know, starting from nothing. Or you can work a job and you can build your credit. You put the work in, you can come invest with me, or you can do your research. But, you know, the whole point is to outsource. You want to come to someone like me that'll charge you $1,000, $2,000 versus you spend days and days and weeks, and then you wind up spending 5 times the money. And then not even getting the results when you could have just went to the person with experience. But what I'm trying to say is you can also build your credit, and then you can leverage your credit to start your business. And I definitely recommend getting a mentor. I don't recommend just jumping out on a road because it's not as easy as I make it look. Like I said, I invested in 2 mentors and I was left hanging and I struggled, and I was $90,000 in debt my first year, and I slept in that truck a whole year and I was struggling. So invest in that mentor, just like how people go to college. But the good thing about working with someone like myself or working with someone like JT, you had that person by your side every step of the way. When you go to college, you come out $50,000, $100,000 in debt, and you're not talking to that teacher no more. That teacher ain't helping you find a job. But you got someone like me that's walking you through every freaking step. 10% of that $50,000 to $5,000, walking you through the price might go up when you see this video. But you got someone walking you, holding your hand, helping you start your business, helping you with your credit. helping you get out there, make money, helping you scale up, helping you turn your rental into owning, helping you with literally everything. So don't try to be cheap. You gotta invest in yourself, y'all. And then one more thing I wanted to say is, before this ended, I want to just give my flowers to JT. I actually used to watch your videos when I was on the come up. It used to give me so much motivation. So to be on here, you know, doing this with you now, it's crazy. Like how times change. Really makes me emotional, because I really used to watch you, bro, for real.
Oh, yeah,
so to be here, you know, it's crazy. I really appreciate it. You know, I want to just give my flowers. I know a lot of people don't give out the flowers. They get big and then forget where they came from. Like, everybody was watching you, JT, a couple years ago. If they wasn't having the motion that they have now, they you know, I promise you, you was watching JT. Because I would literally type in the word entrepreneur or how to make money, and guess who popped up? JT Hustles. So I was watching every video you dropped. I actually watched a few videos and tried a few different things, and you know, it just used to motivate me. You always trying to put people on and put people on your page and show people all these different ways to make money. So it really ain't no excuses when you got people like JT putting you on all this game, and you got people like me that show you everything. And so, you know, y'all, you just gotta invest in yourself. And then my quote is always, if you believe in yourself, you can achieve anything. You know, believe and achieve. God bless. I just want to give you flowers, JT. And I appreciate you for everything, man, for real.
All right, bro. Oh, and I'll definitely be on the channel again. You guys take action, change your life. I wish everybody watching this video a long life, a healthy life, and a bunch of abundance. That being said, a year from now, you could still be complaining about the same money problems you got now. Wish you had 200, 500, extra $1,000, or you could start a business, and we can only solve the problems we can solve. But having a business for the control of your life, you can really be turned up and be way better. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.